Well, good morning, everyone. I am excited to share something with you today. We're going to be learning today about a very special topic that helps each and every one of us in our homes. Whether we're selling our home or not, we need this particular skill. Not a whole lot of us have this today, and I'm excited today to bring a topic to you that you're going to enjoy listening. But before that, we're going to be learning about the market. We're going to be learning about what Team Desi does. Well, as the market changes today in Northwest Arkansas and the amount of time it takes to sell a home, it's not the COVID days when you put a home on the market and it's off the shelf in 6 hours. It does take skill and talent and expertise to get your home sold. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a special topic about how we prepare your home for a sale. My name is Ketan Pandya, and I'm with Team Desi NWA, Keller Williams Market Pro Realty. And I invite you to our seminar today. We're going to be learning from an expert, Amber Taggard, that's going to explain us a lot of these concepts. With that, let's learn who is Team Desi. Team Desi is a company that was formed right here in Northwest Arkansas to serve the people in Northwest Arkansas trying to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. And today, we have the opportunity to do this seminar with you. We formed the company on 4 basic beliefs: trust, transparency, service, and innovation. We believe every client of ours deserves the same level of trust and transparency and service. We continuously innovate our systems to serve the customer and what they are wanting as we move forward in the future. We're going to start with what's going on in the market today. Nationally, all over North America, or at least in the United States of America, we know there's a tug of war being going on between cash buyers and first-time home buyers. 32% of homes that were sold to first-time home buyers. And 26% of the homes in America in March 2025 were sold in cash. And due to the lack of inventory in USA, 2.1 million homes that sold above asking price. It's no surprise we're in a seller's market still. I mean, who cares about tariffs? We need a home to stay, right? However, I will tell you on the flip side that there are homes that are not selling above asking price, and those are the homes that need a little love and help in prepping up and staging so that they can yield the maximum dollar. Would you want to do the same, right? Another statistics, 4.02 million homes sold in March of 2025, which is a huge number when you think about it. Now let's talk about Northwest Arkansas. In Northwest Arkansas, $570 million worth of inventory sold in the month of March 2025, compared to $461 million a year ago. Now, who says there is a downside, the market has slowed? We have not seen any of that. And so we're excited here at Team Desi to serve your needs for your homes that you want to sell. The median home price, the sale price in Northwest Arkansas is $319,900 in March of 2025. You want to know what March 2024 was? It was $289,900. Home prices grew by 25% in this 1 year. I know I have friends in corporate world, and that's not the kind of raise they got this past year. So think about the amount of potential we have with real estate in Northwest Arkansas. If you're still renting, consider buying. If you're looking to sell your home, do not hesitate. So how do we at Team Desi sell your homes? We have a 4-legged process. We first figure out what's the right price for your home. We'll show you what price will sell your home. There's a way to slow down the process, and there's a way to accelerate the process, but we know how it should be priced. Second, we'll show you how the home shows to a buyer is how it's going to sell. And that's what we're here to learn today from an expert. The third thing is how it's marketed. Just pricing it right and staging it correctly doesn't sell the home. It matters how you market the property. And then finally, it matters how we communicate. You could do all the things right, but if our communication is off, we could miss a deadline or we could miss an opportunity to sell your home. So it's important for us to figure out how we communicate with you. And how we communicate with one client differs from how we communicate with another client. All right, let's learn about what do we do when we say how we price the property. We use what we call a 5-5-5 pricing strategy. What we use is 5 active, 5 pending, and 5 sold in the market. And then we compare your home to those homes out there, and then we look at what the competition is. What's sold is the reality, but what's active is a dream. There are other homes in the market right now that's competing with your home. What could we do differently with your home to make your home sell faster for the most amount of money? The next thing we look at is what makes listings shine. And I won't go into this detail because we have an expert with us today over here who we're about to hear. But we do every possible ways because today's buyer is more informed than ever before. They have information about your home on their fingertips anywhere in the world. And that's why you're going to choose an expert real estate agent versus trying to sell it yourself, because we know what makes your home sell. And then we talked about marketing. So how it's marketed matters. We know from statistics provided by National Association of Realtors that 44% of buyers found their home online, and 30% of home buyers found their home through their real estate agent. Guess what? Our marketing strategy incorporates both of these medias. And so we use a comprehensive marketing approach. We use the traditional approach of yard signs and networking with other agents along with online and social media engagement. We have a huge 5,000 customer database where we can engage with our customers. We talk to at least 50 customers on a weekly basis. And we stay in touch with them. We know what's going on in their lives. And that's how we get referrals. And 80% of our business is referred by somebody that we knew or we did business in the past. So when you are thinking about selling your home, think about a professional that's out there in front of clients, in front of home buyers that are willing to buy a home. In short, we bring the market to you. That is our marketing strategy. We don't sit on your listing and twiddle our fingers. We actually go out and we do the job that what a real estate agent does. And lastly, we're going to talk about a communication plan that fits your needs. We're going to talk about who to communicate, the method to use, the mode of communication, whether you want to push or you want to pull yourself. We can put it on a portal and you can pull the information yourself. And then how often do you want to get communicated? We understand that you are a busy professional out there and you don't have the time to talk to us all the time. And so we want to work with you to figure out what suits you. Our process is very simple. Once you contact us, we make you fill out a questionnaire, a simple questionnaire that gives us some basic information about what you're trying to accomplish. And then we schedule a property tour. Once we visit your property tour, we'll figure out whether we're a good match to do business with each other. And if you hire us, then we'll do a listing agreement. Once we do a listing agreement, we'll have a marketing plan for your property. We'll have a marketing strategy, a pricing strategy for your property. And then we'll go live. Once we go live, we go work the plan. We believe in planning the work and working the plan. That's how we get the job done. And so if you choose to do business with us, go ahead and scan the QR code on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Finally, I would say if you are looking for a professional that does the job, contact us and we'll do you good. With that, I'm going to invite Amber Taggard over here. Amber has been a resident of Northwest Arkansas. Amber, for what? Did you grow up in Northwest Arkansas?
No, I've been here since 2009.
Very nice.
Yes.
So let me pause this music. 2009, I'll let you have the stage over
Okay,
here.
perfect.
And we'll go here. and the stage is yours. So I'll let Amber introduce herself. Amber has started her company with herself, and today she has, what, maybe 20 people working with you?
In Northwest Arkansas, there are 27
27.
and 54 all told in the 5 branches of the company.
I can't wait to hear what she has to share today. So with that, no further ado, Amber Taggard.
Thanks so much. Well, yes, like Caden said, my name is Amber Taggard, and I decided in 2011 to use my Master's of Science in Clinical Mental Health in kind of an unusual way and to become a professional organizer. And so I started a company. At the time, it was actually called The Organizer Chick, just a girl and her label maker. And I had no idea if anyone would want to pay for the services that I knew that I could provide. But don't look now. I think it's going okay. And like we just said, here in Northwest Arkansas, we have 27 chicks in the flock ready to help you with whatever it is that you may stand in need of. And we have 5 different branches. So Northwest and Central Arkansas, Houston, Texas, Kansas City, Missouri/Kansas, and Charlotte, North Carolina as well. So here behind me, you're seeing just some slides of some of the work that we've done over time, some of the befores into afters, which is kind of our specialty. We work in every area of the home, and we also do work commercially as well. So from automobiles to workshops to garages and pantries and closets, and certainly a lot of things that have to do with relocation, which is why we love to work with the Desi team here at Keller Williams. They've been good partners for a while, and so we appreciate them and are very happy to lend our expertise to you. I know moving can be very overwhelming. Selling a home can be very overwhelming, and so yes, having that professional team who's been there, done that can be a huge help to you. So I'm going to share just some best practices today that we as professional organizers walk through with our clients. And I'm going to just share kind of chronologically what you might be going through. So we just heard about how important having a strong online presence is. And we know that very often someone has really decided if they're super interested in buying your home or not before they ever even physically show up to see it. That they oftentimes have made a decision entirely based on that online listing. And so it needs to be strong. It needs to show well through pictures and be ready for those showings. And so we certainly are here to help you with that. We have a service we offer. It's called a pre-pack. And we marry that with a service called a discard and donate. And so I'm just going to share a little bit about what that looks like. And then I'm going to give you some tips that you can use, whether you work with us at the Organizer Chicks or not. And we certainly hope that you will. But if you want to DIY it, I'm going to give you some of our best practices on things that we do that we think makes a really big difference. So a pre-pack, essentially what that means is that you live in this home. It's your home. It's where you're eating and sleeping. It's where your family lives. You're having to go, to work or to school from this home, and you need to be able to live there comfortably. But you need to be able to have a professional photographer come and get amazing photos, and you need to be ready for showings at a moment's notice potentially. And so we want to go ahead and pack away anything that you know that you're not going to need for the next maybe 90 days, which is about as long as your house will probably stay on the market here in Northwest Arkansas. So that you want to kind of have us help you go through and narrow down. This time of the year, we can probably go ahead and pack up all of your winter things, right? And then 6 months from now, we can pack away all the, swimsuits that you might have had out for this season. So we want to just really get analytical about what you need to have to live comfortably in the space for a little while. And go ahead, you're moving anyway. You're going to sell this home. You're going to have a great experience there. So let's pack up in a very organized fashion those things that you will not need and have available right now. A discard and donate service is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to help you make the sometimes hard and emotional decisions about what you need to let go of, because we're going to discard them. Sometimes things have just lived their lives and they're now trash. That cat scratched couch, maybe, it's just seen better days and it's done. But sometimes things still have a lot of life in them and we want them to continue to serve, and they just need to serve somebody else. And so we'll help you plug in your items to a great nonprofit in the community where it can still be used and loved and appreciated by somebody else, and you can have your tax donation form for a write-off. So we'll help you go through those things. A couple of quick tips, because I know we don't have all the time in the world. But one thing that I'll encourage you to do if you're trying to get into a pre-pack, getting ready to get my home on the market mode, is to really try, and this is hard, but try to look at your home with emotional detachment. So I want you to try to walk through the door as if you're seeing your home for the very first time, not as someone who loves all those pictures of your cute kids on the wall, but as someone who doesn't know your kids at all and who is in fact trying to envision themselves in that home instead of envisioning you there. Over personalization can be difficult. And so if we have bright colors or strong smells or lots of pictures of our own kids and family and pets, those things can be turn off to other people because a lot of people don't have a ton of imagination, and we need to present them a more neutral blank canvas so that they can more easily imagine themselves living their life happily inside your home. So depersonalizing is going to be a huge step. And again, photos and over personalization are some things to be looking for there. And then another thing when you're in this zone of prepping your house and kind of doing this pre-packing is to really be mindful. And this is a place where you want to work closely with your realtor who is an expert on what sells, but be mindful of those zones in your home that are going to be the big selling spots. So the places where people are really looking to make a decision about a home. For almost everybody, that's going to include a primary bedroom and closet. If you walk into a closet and it looks really full and cluttered and not organized, that's sending a strong message that there's not enough storage in the home. Even if you have 10,000 pieces of clothing and it's you who's overwhelmed the closet, the message is that the closet isn't big enough for the job, and that's going to be a turnoff to buyers. So we want our primary bedroom, especially in that primary closet, to really look and feel organized, to be color-coded even. This is a spot that we do want to invest in. We want it to look like a magazine. We want it to have matching hangers. Those little bits of money put here are going to have huge, huge ROI. Same thing with your kitchen countertops. People want to see calm. And one of the things that we're looking for and that we're helping you achieve as professional organizers is a low ratio of items to square footage. So think of walking into a really nice hotel maybe. Your eye just takes in the room and you automatically kind of go, ah, it feels nice in that space. You're having a physiological response to the low ratio of items per square footage. And so if we can create that in our home while it's on the market, if that kitchen counter can just read kitchen counter instead of a lot of little projects to get done, then that's the message we want to send there. And another primary is the entryway. This is the first impression into the home. We want decent curb appeal outside, and we want whatever is waiting right behind that front door to feel very welcoming and as wide open and bright and cheery as it can be. So those are some best practices for the first thing is that kind of preparatory stage, the pre-packing of the home. So a second thing that we offer and that you're going to want to think through as you're in relocation mode is your move management. There can be a lot of moving pieces and a lot of, not just, people and personnel and teams and professionals and timelines and schedules to juggle in all of this. And so when we offer on-site move management, what that means is that we're working very closely with your moving company. And it's not that we're the bosses of them, but we're working in harmony with them to make sure that everything that you're needing done is being done and being done carefully and being done right. Your home is being protected, your walls are being protected, your furniture is being protected, and that things are being brought back into your new home in a way that makes sense and that can help to just make a much smoother unpacking. So some best practices here I have to share with you. You want to go through your house and pre-mark all of the rooms. And then you want to have a little powwow with the team before anything even begins to be offloaded from the truck. Every once in a while, we'll see that an on-site move manager hasn't been part of the process. And, some companies are amazing and some are hurrying to make some money. And so every once in a while, we see a situation where the moving company just dumped all the boxes for the house in the garage and then they left. And that's a nightmare because now you have to schlep your boxes up the stairs and all over the house to get them where they go. And so we want to make sure that the rooms are clearly marked so that everyone understands, okay, my son's bedroom is downstairs in the first door on the left, and that all the furniture pieces are going to where they're going. This is the time to go ahead and get your rugs down and think through the spatial planning about how you want to use the homes in your house so that you can get set up right from the beginning. Another quick tip that your on-site move manager should be doing is thinking about being kind to the people who are doing this work for you. They have all of your belongings very literally in their hands. So have lunch for them. Keep cold drinks on hand, some water, some Gatorade. These little touches that, yes, do cost a little bit of money will pay you back in dividends because your team will feel appreciative and they'll feel like you're being kind to them, and they're going to take that little extra measure to be especially kind with your stuff. And you can avoid a lot of potential damage with the cost of a few pizzas and some cold drinks on a hot summer day. Then the third thing real quick to talk about is kind of the final piece of that puzzle. Congratulations, you've done it. You've gotten a new house, and let's be honest, you've paid a lot per square foot for every, foot of that house that you're going to have. It's a clean slate right now. It's an empty home. It is the perfect time to create and then maintain organization and flow, and to have a home that offers you peace and productivity, which you deserve. We all deserve to have that in this crazy, crazy world. So we offer unpacking and organization. Very often, someone's boxes arrive on a Tuesday. We oversee that process, and then Wednesday morning, a flock of chicks shows up to unpack and organize into that home. And then you get to just live there and not live in a sea of boxes, which is really stressful. We can even get your boxes out of your house when we're all said and done and go recycle those for you. So, but that unpacking and that home organization is it obviously a huge, potentially stressful part. And some of our best practices here, as you're unpacking and as you're organizing, we just encourage to really think about the end user and to think about their personality type and their physicality. So if we're moving grandma in with us and, we are going to just organize her closet, we need to be mindful. Is she, 5'2", and does she have arthritic hands? Let's be sure that we're not, like, for instance, buying containers that have cute little clasps on them that are going to be difficult for her to manage. So as we're organizing, and especially as we're purchasing, one of our best practice tips is actually don't go buying products too early in the process. Sometimes people think, oh, I need to get organized. I'll go shop at the container store, and that'll be my first step to being successful here. And then what happens often is that the containers become part of the problem. And now we have a big stack of containers all over the house that, they didn't solve the problem, because that's just a tool to help along the way. And we need systems of organization that are individually tailored to you and to whoever the end user is going to be. So don't purchase your containers too early. And then the last thing I'll leave you with here before I open up for questions is just something for maintenance, which is so important. Let's say you do hire us and we get you perfectly, unpacked and organized, and every drawer you open and every closet you open just feels wonderful. Well, you want to keep it that way, right? And how do we do that? And I love, love, love something called the 2-minute rule. And it essentially says that if something takes 2 minutes or less to do, we do it now. And the truth is that many things that end up getting cluttered throughout the day are just the result of these little 2-minute or less tasks. In fact, in the English language, the word clutter is the singular noun, right? And we look at it and we therefore think of it that way. Words are powerful. And so when we say, look at the clutter, it's holistic. We look at it as this one thing, and it's incredibly overwhelming. And we think, oh my gosh, how can I, fix this clutter? How can I avoid it next time? And a paradigm shift that I invite you to have with me is to understand that clutter really is the result of delayed decisions and deferred actions. It's the shoes we kicked off and just didn't take with us when we went to bed. And it's the mail that we plopped down on the counter instead of taking to recycling or to the inbox where it needs to be acted upon later. Or maybe it's a decision, right? I wore this shirt for 2 hours to a networking event tonight. And then when I got home, I threw it over the back of the chair in the bedroom. Has anyone want to cop to ever doing that? Yeah. We've all done that. But that is delaying a decision, right? If you don't just decide in that moment, is this clean or is this dirty? And it's not going to get more clean by laying over the back of the chair for the night, right? Like it doesn't get better. So once we start to recognize I'm delaying a decision or I'm deferring an action, and we understand that that is how clutter is created, that helps us to avoid ever experiencing that again. When we're just cognizant and mindful of like, oh, this is a little 2-minute or less task. I'm going to just go ahead and do it now. I'm going to take my dish and I'm going to rinse it off and put it right into the dishwasher instead of just setting it in the sink for a little while, right? Like just really streamlining and straight lining those things and making those decisions. Am I going to go to the party? Let's RSVP about it right now and then recycle that invitation and just process it and move on. 2 minutes or less and be done. And that'll help you to clean up clutter once it's already happened, and it'll help you to avoid creating any clutter in the future. So I hope that's helpful, kind of talking through that pre-packing, which again is so important. Staging your home does not have to cost $1 billion. You don't have to go buy new furniture. You might need to rearrange some furniture. You might need to have a little less stuff in your house for sure. But the ROI, I mean, study after study has showed that there's major money back in your pocket if you'll go ahead and depersonalize and do these things. And we're here to help you with that. And again, move management can be such an important part, making sure that you're actually having a good move-in experience, that you're getting unpacked and organized into your beautiful new clean slate of a home in a way that's going to serve you and your family well, and then maintaining it afterward. That's what we at the Organizer Chicks are here to do. If you ever have need of us, we cover Washington and Benton counties in Northwest Arkansas. And again, we're in Central Arkansas, and also we travel. Last year, we went as far north as Niagara Falls, which is the Canadian border, and as far south as Tampa, Florida. So we'll come to you wherever you may be coming from or coming to. If you're moving to Northwest Arkansas, we're happy to come to you and help you do some of these things on that end as well, and then we can help you while you're here. So, and anyway, that's all that I had. I wanted to keep it pretty concise, and I hope that's been some helpful information from people who've been doing this for a long time. We've seen a lot of moves and, seen a lot of things that have gone wrong and a lot that's gone right. So I hope that's beneficial, and I'm happy to answer questions if anyone had any here.
How do you tailor your services to different clients' needs?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of that starts with an initial, what we call an intake session with a client, which can be on the phone or via Zoom, but we love to do those in person if possible. And that's where we're going to get to know you and get to know your goals for your space. Some of that physicality we talked about earlier, we're going to try to understand. We're going to ask you some weird sounding questions. How tall are you? Are you right-handed? Are you left-handed? How old are the kids? In this kitchen that we're going to organize or unpack, do you like to bake? Do you need a coffee station set up, or do you want nothing on your kitchen counters? So we're going to do a deep dive to get to know the way that you want to function and live and what your goals are for the space, for your family, for your office, because it doesn't matter how I would organize the kitchen. It matters how you would. And so we're going to do that by getting to know you and then being very thoughtful. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to anything that we do.
What is your pricing structure?
Yeah. So the first thing you should know is that you don't have to remember everything I'm about to say because we publish it online. We are Torch Award for Ethics winners, which I'm really proud of. And one of the measures of that is that you're being fair and communicative in your pricing. So you can go to theorganizerchicks.com, and every service will have a slightly different pricing structure. Generally speaking, in Northwest Arkansas, $65 an hour per organizer. So if you're hiring a team of 3 organizers, just know that that's times 3 per hour that we're there. We do have a 4-hour minimum, just because we found that that's any less is not enough to actually do you justice as a general rule. So yeah, that's what we typically do.
How do you ensure the systems will be easy for me to maintain?
So that's actually by the work that we do before we ever actually get started touching things with the getting to know you. With that intake session, we want to make sure that we're understanding your physicality and then also your personality. So not enough to know that you're 5'2" and left-handed. We also need to know if maybe you're highly distractible. And so if maybe everything that's visible to you is going to catch your attention, well, we need to know that if we're creating a workspace for you. And so some people will want their things more on display, more color-coded, more visually available to them. And we're going to make sure that we build out that situation if that's what you need. But if we're to understand that you really need to be able to just focus on one thing at a time, not get distracted by other things that you're being able to see in your visual field, then we're gonna take that into consideration too and build it out differently depending on your needs.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, and yeah, bring you back on in here.
Absolutely. So one thing I'd like to learn from you is, how do you pack all of this in a 24-hour period? Because I'm a rising entrepreneur. Here's an established entrepreneur. This is what you look at from a lot of different ways. Here's a role model for somebody like me. So thank you for everything that you do.
I'm happy.
We truly appreciate you coming here and doing this with us. So thank you.
To answer your question, one of the ways I do all the things is by not being under any false conceptions that I can do it myself. And I have great people on my team, and I have great community partners like you. That's how we get everything done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We hired Amber's team last year on a $500,000 listing, and our clients were totally clueless about the expertise that she brought in. And I'll tell you, they were nervous. It wasn't you, it was somebody from your team.
Right.
And they were nervous about what they're making us do. But, when they sold the listing for maybe 10% more, or 5% more than what their listing asking price was, they were convinced that this profession is awesome. And so we want to thank you helping us create a positive experience for that client.
Happy to do it. It's one of our favorite stories to hear is those success stories
It's-
because we know we can provide value that you're going to see
Correct.
on signing day.
Correct.
It's going to come back to you.
So we at Team Desi, when we take your listing for the right compensation, we provide a couple of hours of their time for free. And then if you choose to hire them for more time, it's up to you. Depending on the compensation plan, we can adjust the number of hours that we sponsor for her team to come out and take a look. Because we truly believe that staging the property and having an expert like Amber and her team is a game changer in this industry. So thank you very much.
Thank you for
With that said, I'm just have the last slide and then we'll be done.
Perfect.
With that, thank you so much for being here, for listening to an expert, learning something that might help you even though you're not wanting to sell your home today. If you choose to sell your home, we look forward to serving you and your needs in Northwest Arkansas. We will be happy to take your call. We have an awesome team and partners like Amber that we work with. See you next time in another seminar, in another episode for this seminar series with another expert who will bring in an important topic that you could learn, take away, and improve your home before you're ready to sell. Thank you and namaskar.